This is part 5 in a series of short videos that look at the Reflex 510 relay test system. In this part we'll be looking right underneath the hood of the Reflex 510. Previous parts have covered these top levels, the operator screen, the main icons, and these engineering features. But the feature we shall be looking at specifically is this Resource Explorer icon. Resource Explorer has become an increasingly user visible means of investigating, diagnosing, and now configuring this relay test system. Each of these icons in this tree represent a particular hardware or software resource that makes up the Reflex 510. For example, you can see here there are 2 measurement cards, a load interface card, a switch controller card. These are automatically detected from the hardware when the Reflex 510 software starts. However, there are other resources that are not directly related to the hardware, and these resources allow us to specify how the relay test system will perform its tests using the available hardware. For example, if we open up this contacts resource here, you can see that one of the sub-resources is called contact loads. With this contact loads node, we can add specific definitions of available contact loads that the Reflex 510 will then offer in its test steps. And this is a very new and powerful feature for applied relay testing's relay test systems, because previously our contact loads have been configurable at time of manufacture or have been fixed in the type of the machine that is purchased. The Reflex 510 allows various contact loads to be added or removed by the user subject to the availability of certain hardware. The flexibility of this is that by filling in this form here, it's possible to define an entirely new type of load and to name it, and to have that load appear then in the test programming at the top level totally automatically without needing any automatic reconfiguring of low-level hardware settings. To support that, the contact setup resource is able to make measurements of contact voltages and to display them at this level to enable specific hardware debugging and diagnostics if required. This coil node also allows configuration of the coil power supply in an extremely flexible way, and for the first time this coil power supply control allows us to connect to a wide variety of external power supplies, both AC and DC, without having to change the fundamental Reflex 510 software, as long as we support that basic power supply in our interfacing, and many DC and AC supplies are already supported. They can automatically be used as a coil power supply if appropriate. And what this does is this brings an extra level of flexibility to this relay test system, because the coil power and the load power are now out of the box. They are only limited practically by the availability of load and coil power supplies externally, and of the suitability of the wiring between those power supplies, the necessary simple switching, and wiring to the device. So the Reflex 510 is then able to provide test programming and contact voltage drop and contact resistance measurements over a much wider range of hardware capability than is available with our standard in-box systems.